welcome to the replay of Social Today. So welcome to Social Today. This is where we talk about all things social media, and we're just looking at a retweet here of Twitter's announcement yesterday of replacing favourites with likes. So what is happening here? So basically, the star symbol on Twitter, which represents favourites, has been replaced with a heart, which is known as a like. If you hover over the heart, it now shows like. So what's going on here then? Well, it does seem to be that as time goes on, social networks do pinch ideas from each other. And like is a term that is used on Facebook and in fact LinkedIn, on obviously hello from Kazakhstan. Was used on Facebook initially, then copied by LinkedIn, and now copied by Twitter. But what do you think about this change? Because on Twitter, it's not just a case of showing your appreciation for something or indicating that you literally like or love something. Traditionally, favourites have been associated, and Instagram too. Thank you very much for the lobster. Yes, likes very big on Instagram. In fact, they are shown as hearts on Instagram. So you could argue that Twitter's lifted up the idea pretty much from Instagram. So, yeah, but it's more nuanced on Twitter in the sense that you can, the word favourite can mean all sorts of things. It doesn't necessarily mean that you love something or you heart something. So it can, you can favourite an article to indicate appreciation. You can favourite for empathy. You can favourite for sympathy. Good morning everybody. It is not just a question of liking, loving, or hearting something. Plus, and the big plus with Twitter, is that it acts as a bookmark on favourite. Still does as a like, but you can favourite content, which is a really useful feature. Add that to your list of favourites and go back and read an article later. Very personal question. Have a guess, Shigane, how old I am. It can be really useful in that respect, in that you can literally bookmark content. So perhaps you're just about to jump into a meeting and you see a really interesting blog post that you want to go back and read later. So you can then favourite that, or as it's now known, you can like that and go back into your favourites / likes and pick it up later. So what happens if you like a comment about somebody being kidnapped or something about the refugee crisis? You're not actually liking that, are you? So it doesn't really quite work with the new terminology, or even stronger, you're not actually loving it, which is after all what the heart symbol represents. So you might just actually be wanting to read it later, and that's the only function that you use. So it's almost like you now need a separate bookmarking function on Twitter. So I think they've got themselves in a bit of a mess on this one, because it was more than a Facebook like before, and it seems that they're just trying to dumb things down, make it more like Facebook, and really take the easy option to make it more appealing. But if you actually look at the number of users out there talking about it, does seem to be majority of negative comment out there right now. But do let me know what you think. If you are in favour of the new likes, do type like in the comment. If you would rather stick with the old favourite system, then write favourites in the comments. What do you think? Do let me know. I did actually run a poll on Twitter on this about 45 minutes ago, and interestingly, that's very interesting, got 6 votes, and people are giving the new likes the thumbs up. 67% to 33%. 6 people have voted there. But do let me know what you think. And of course, we have hearts here on Periscope. So hearts do seem to be the popular icon of choice. What do you think about the possibility of pinning a tweet on your own wall? So, well, you can do that, of course, Bob. Don't know quite what I mean by possibility. It is now possible, and it's a great idea, yeah. I actually do that, and I want to illustrate something in a second, and I will show you that shortly when we talk about Twitter and Christmas. But it's a great idea because it pins it up there, makes it more visible for people to see when they visit your profile. So yeah, all for pinning tweets if you've got something constructive to say, particularly if you've got a call to action there, you're trying to get people to read a blog post or sign up to a newsletter or something like that. I know it's possible. Do you like it? Absolutely, yeah, very much do. Very much do. Let me know if you use them, Bob. No, really good idea. Sorry, I misinterpreted your question there. Okay, so we've been talking all about using Twitter to promote your business at Christmas this week, and today want to look at Twitter cards. So Twitter cards, you can do all sorts of things with Twitter cards, but in particular today I want to look at Twitter, the different types of Twitter cards, but today I want to look at Twitter website cards, which are kind of like souped up tweets that you can use to add an image and also a button, again a call to action button to encourage people to visit your website, to enter a competition. So in that respect, that builds on from what we were talking about earlier this week of using hashtags and competitions at Christmas time. So you could actually enhance that and encourage people to enter by using a Twitter card. So just going to have a quick look at how to set up these Twitter cards. So if we just the screen a second. So just on Twitter, and if you go down, if you hit your profile picture, go to Twitter ads there, and you'll be taken into this section here. Go to creatives at the top there, and then cards. And when you're in the cards section, the key for these website cards is to hit this little radio button that says website. And here you've got an example of a Twitter card that I recently created there. And if we go in and just go in and edit that. Let's do it on the screen, a bit easier. So if we edit, yeah, there we go. So if we edit that, you can see what you can do here. You can basically, if you can see that, you can upload a photo. That's what the preview looks like on mobile. And you can create a button. So you've got a subscribe button there in this case, but that button can say other things as well. I'm just trying to make the picture a bit better. So the options for the buttons are quite comprehensive. You've got book now, learn more, play now, donate, apply here, quote here, etc. Shame that there isn't an enter now for competitions, which would work well with your Christmas competitions, but possibly you could use play now there, learn more, or view now, visit now. Those could be potential options there. Good morning, Rachel of Relish the Toast, just talking about Twitter website cards. So the beauty of these website cards here is that they're free. Amazingly, Twitter do encourage you to promote them with paid posts, but all this card functionality, although it can be found in the advertising area, is in fact free. And there's a preview of a card on mobile. And just to show you what it looks like on the web, if I go back to my Twitter here, go back to my profile. Then this answers your question from earlier, Bob. Am I in favour of them? I clearly am, because there's my Twitter card, and you can see it has a subscribe button, has a picture there of me giving a talk and encouraging people to sign up to my email list at the top, and also got a heading and the website address underneath that. So some nice sort of functionality, particularly the button and the picture and the heading here, and all for free. You don't have to pay for that. So really good way of encouraging people to do something, to visit your website, enter a competition, read a blog post, sign up to your newsletter, etc. Enter a competition. And that is a pinned tweet. You'll see that's a pinned tweet. As Bob was saying earlier, pinned tweets are useful to stay at the top of your profile there, which is pretty handy and useful. Just going back to the news that we were talking about earlier of Twitter replacing their favourites with likes, do let me know. Do type in the comments if you're in favour of the new likes, type likes. If you're in favour of favourites, do type favourites. How did I not discover this earlier? Going to have to check this out. Oh, you mean Twitter cards or the Social Today show that I'm doing? Not sure, Rachel, but I hope you found that bit of information useful. Yeah, I thought you'd been on before. Yeah, Twitter cards is great. I've written actually a blog post about that. So you could check that out. I did tweet about that lately. So you can have a look at that blog post and learn more about it. Sorry, Bob, I just got distracted there, so didn't quite get your question. So if you don't mind repeating that. But yeah, Rachel, Twitter cards are really useful. So do let me know. Are you in favour of the likes? Are you in favour of the favourites? Type likes or favourites in the comments. And do make use of Twitter cards. Let me know how you use them, how you get on with them, and hopefully Twitter will ensure that they remain free to use. Yeah, faves were better. I'd be in agreement with that one, Bob. So as is normally the case, always have a bit of a chat about what I'm doing on the particular day of the broadcast. So today, main thing is going up to the Pump Room here in Cheltenham, to the local business roadshow. There's a really good group on Facebook called Local Business Network that you might want to check out. So this is the Local Business Roadshow today, which is their event, and really looking forward to that. Perhaps Rachel, you might actually be up there. So hope to catch up with a few people up there later on today. So if you have any questions, comments or feedback, do of course tweet me at intranetfuture. And there's other ways you can contact me on intranetfuture.com. Whilst applying for jobs, is it advisable to keep your personal Twitter locked? No, I'd say the opposite. I'd say, you need to show off your personality and character, what you're all about. So no, I would have it definitely have it open rather than locked, Bob. So I'd go with that approach if I were you. So that's it for today, folks. Back tomorrow talking about Twitter ads tomorrow. So looking forward to chatting to you about that. And whatever you're doing, enjoy your day. Bye for now.